Okay, so like I said in the last video, notation with verifying identities varies from teacher to teacher. But what I'm teaching you will definitely carry over. They just may expect more. But this is a good way to get used to following a rigid structure. So you're always going to have an identity that you're given to verify, and you always want to underline it. So underline your, and my abbreviation for identities is ID. So underline your ID. Every single time I want to see that underlined so that I know what you're working with. Then you start working with it. So this is where I'm actually showing my work. This is just writing the problem. So then you're going to choose which side you want to work with. So in our strategies, we said choose the more complicated side. So you're going to put the more complicated side, write it down, then put an equal sign. Wherever you put that first equal sign, I want you to line the rest of them all up. So notice all these equal signs are lined up. Line up your equal signs. I'm even going to highlight it because that's important. You will lose points in college, therefore you will lose points in my class if your equal signs are not lined up. Now, everything from this point on needs to be equal to the step before it. And I also want you to put your reasons beside each step. So you have to include those. Part of where I went wrong with my classes last year is I didn't require that, so they didn't know why they were doing things, and they really got mixed up. So you start with one side of the problem, and then you start to manipulate it. So here you can see the one thing that we changed was cosecant changed to 1 over sine. And we were able to do that using our reciprocal identity. Once we were there, then we could put this cosine of x over 1 in our mind and multiply across. And you can see that we have cosine x over sine x. That should be pretty familiar, and since you know your ending point, you know that you're going in the right direction. And so using your reciprocal identity, you now change it to cotangent. So again, you can see there, these two things are equal to one another. So no value changed, we just changed the way it looked. And now we've got this equal to this. That verifies our identity. So to show that we're done with the proof, you put a little box. This shows your proof is complete. So make sure you include your little box. So the notation that you need to include is write down your identity and underline it. Pick the more complicated side and write it on the left. Then write your equal signs. All your equal signs from there on out are going to line up with this one. Now you start to manipulate, and every time you do a manipulation, you write a new line and you write your explanation or reason beside it, preferably in parentheses. And then you just keep going, keeping in mind your ending point where you want to wind up and work towards that. Alright, so go ahead and put both of these in your ISN. Let's see, how can I fit them in here? I haven't really thought about how I wanted to fit them in here, but I think what I would like to do is put notation up top, glue that down, and then your strategies. No. Let's do like this. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm indecisive. Okay, we're going to put our notation right here and our strategies down here folded up. Okay, so you'll always see that notation when you flip open, and then your strategies you'll have to look at. So go ahead and glue those down, and then we'll get started with some practice problems.